All right, we are live. Hey, family. Yes, we
Yay.
again. I'm like super excited. Yes, we have Margaret with us today. As you guys know, I'm like really big on your calling, your purpose, and really just making sure that we're doing what God has called us to do. And today we're really going to be talking about stepping into your calling, right? Like when God has finally said, okay, this is what I want you to do. Here's where I've assigned you. And today we're going to talk with Margaret Cruz. Margaret, let me just take a pause for a minute. Now, I said I was going to be really good today. I wasn't going to have any tears or anything, but I'm telling you guys, Margaret has really been that rock for me. There have been so many times where I've had to like had those conversations and really needed that extra push and just guidance. And Margaret has been there to do that for me. She's a realtor. She's also the president of the, let me make sure I say it right, Women's Council of Realtors, the Lake Houston Network, and she is really one that's over a lot of people. She does a lot of work, but she has allowed God to use her. And so I want to encourage each and every one of you by bringing her here today so that she can share her story and what that looks like, and we can all just have a chat, right? Talk about how it's important to be genuine, how it's important to serve others, and really extend that hand, and really just doing what God has called you to do. So I'm gonna take a pause. Margaret, if you'll go ahead, introduce yourself and let everyone know who you are and what you help people do.
Yes, yes. Thank you for having me today, Jessica. Well, as you all know, my name is Margaret Cruz, and I am a Texas realtor. I've been a realtor for going on 6 years now, and I have designations, and I am certified to help our U.S. military and local heroes to find homes. And that's something that I'm very passionate about because there's a lot of programs out there for our military and for our doctors and nurses and healthcare and first responders, and programs out there for them that they don't even know that they are eligible for. So I've been certified to be able to assist them and to be able to find these fundings and be able to get them into homes because they deserve it. They serve us, and I'm here to serve them too. And as Jessica said, I serve also on the executive board for the Women's Council of Realtors, Lake Houston Network. And I serve there as the local president. And I am very honored to be able to say that I'm able to assist more people in real estate, especially women.
Yeah.
So that's one of my passions, is to be able to assist another woman into leadership or and into whatever journey she desires in real estate.
Amen. Thank you so much, Margaret. Listen, family, this is a big deal because I had the opportunity of really being able to groom a relationship with Margaret as all of these just beautiful and great things were happening, and just watching her step into her calling. And I want to just take a moment and just pause and make sure that you guys are really just taking it all in and thinking about those times where God has said, okay, here is what I want you to do. Here's where I've called. I want you to know that it's not rainbows and butterflies. It's not always perfect. It's a lot that goes into that process. So I want to take a moment and let Margaret tell her story from when she first got into real estate and what that looked like that actually helped her get to where she is today.
It wasn't pretty, right? Um, it's not pretty, and it's kind of um, to be fully transparent. So it's tough to be fully transparent, especially in this industry, and to be vulnerable. But sometimes, as women, we go through a lot of very similar, um, issues in our lives, or any obstacles that we are encountered.
Yeah.
And um, my husband, at I think it was in 2015, he had lost his job. So we were like deciding, well, what's going on here? What are we going to do? Um, and at the time, it was quick. He went ahead and got another job, but we were like, well, we're still in one income. What do we do? Um, I decided to let me go ahead and do real estate because that's something that has been on the back of my mind for a very long time. And I was like, let me just get my license, let's see what happens. Well, I got pregnant with my daughter, and she was a very difficult pregnancy. And so I was bedridden for a few months, and I was like, wow, I was just about to go get my license, and something brings me down.
Yeah.
And or something's holding me back because she's my baby, I love her. But she's it was to the point that the doctor's like, okay, well, as soon as you have your baby, you still have to rest for the next 3 months. And so I was like, wow, it's just my dream is taking a little longer than what I thought. So while I was down, or while I was, bedridden, I was studying. And honestly, I didn't know what I was studying, but I was trying to figure out that industry before I got into it.
Yeah.
And did my research, trying to figure out. I called the Champion School of Real Estate because that's where I went to school at, and here in Texas. And they gave me some information of what I could be studying for now, and before I actually went to the courses, and that extremely it helped. And I went ahead and took my license. My mindset was, I've dedicated all this time while I was bedridden,
Yeah.
and I have no choice but to pass that test.
Mm.
And that was my mindset,
Amen.
that test. And I had this business etiquette class once I started taking the courses, and the lady, the instructor said, write a letter to yourself, and I will mail it to you, and say congratulations, something that you're going to say to yourself after the test. And I put, congratulations, Margaret, you passed the test. You joined a wonderful brokerage that's going to take care of you. And I even put the grade, that I passed, what I mean? And literally I was not far from that when
Wow.
I passed my test.
Yeah.
And I was so detailed, because she's like, the instructor's like, be detailed as what she's telling you, because this is, you're manifesting something. And
Yeah.
I at that point, I wasn't introduced to the law of attraction. I wasn't introduced to manifesting things for yourself. And I didn't know about it. And
Yeah.
when she introduced that to me, and ever since then, I firmly believe, if you write things down,
Ooh.
and you keep it where you can see it, it'll come true.
Yes.
Your mind is looking for it. So I did that. October of 2016, I passed my test with
Yes.
flying colors, and the first time around. And that was something that I was like, I achieved it, I got it. And I went home like, let's do this, right? Like, I'm all excited.
Yes.
Man, I entered
Oh,
I
yes.
entered the brokerage, and I was like, oh right, so what do we do now? And it's like, wow, it's tough. Real estate is a tough world, is a very sharp world. So if you
Yeah.
are not up to speed, or your knowledge is not there, you will lose your deals. Your listings will go somewhere else. Nobody's going to choose you.
Yes.
And I say it in a sense that, if you have to understand your industry, and at the time I didn't, right?
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, well, I passed my test. The only thing that they were teaching me was to pass this test. Now I really need to go to training. So here I am. At the time, she was already 9 months old.
Yeah.
And I had, like, remember, my mindset was, I'm not going to stop. This is not going to stop me. My
Yeah.
baby is my baby. She's going to come with me. And she did. She went with me to training. My brokerage was like, yes, bring her. Here I am with a big old stroller trying to walk her
Yes.
to training.
Amen.
Everybody was so gracious about it. They're like, yes. I remember some real estate agents would get up and feed her while I was doing training. The more experienced ones, like, don't worry, we got it. You go ahead and listen to what you're doing. I'm like, okay, perfect. So you have other real estate agents papping my baby and feeding her
Yes.
and all that stuff. And to this day, I will never forget that.
Ooh.
Will never, because that was so life changing for me. The acceptance that I was able to be a mom, and try to have a career
Yeah.
despite having a baby. So that was a huge support that I received. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm definitely going to pay that forward one day when I see a struggling mother in a training class. I would be that person. I got the baby. Don't worry. You listen.
Oh man, yes.
Yes, yes. So it's always about paying it forward, things that really meant a lot to you. So, and that was one of the things that I kept looking for because I didn't know my first year in real estate was extremely tough. I didn't know what I was doing. And the training that was given to me at the time is just, yeah, okay, learn your contracts. That was simple. Um, but then afterwards, what do you do when you're in contract? What are the ins and outs of
Yeah.
going into contract? All that stuff, all that, little specific knowledge that you need to know as an agent, um, I was lacking. And so I was like, what do I get into? Who do I need to network? How do I grow this business? I just started. And I mean, my drive was, I have no choice. We
Ooh,
have to grow, like this is
yeah.
what we got to do because I got to feed this baby. And she's got her formula is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was I aligned myself with the Women's Council of Realtors in my local area. And I really, really, and this is something that I have to say because it's not easy. It's not as easy as it might seem, but the dues were 184 at the time. I just had a baby.
Yeah.
I got a baby on formula. I didn't have 184.
Yeah.
I said, "What do I do?" Because I feel like this organization is really going to help because it provided education that I needed, the training that I wanted, and everything, the credibility that you gained being a part of it was always something that I was seeking because I wanted to be that professional. I wanted my clients to see me as, wow, okay, she's dedicated into her career. Let's work with her. That's what I wanted. And I said, okay, well, what do I do? They said, well, you have 3 events that you can, utilize and come in for free.
Okay.
And why don't you just utilize your 3 events, and then after that, you decide whether you want your membership or not. And I said, okay, let me do that. Thank you. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
I did, and one of them was lead generation.
Okay.
And brand new lead generation. So
Wow.
I don't know anybody in this industry. I don't know anybody. I'm new to this area. So I don't have a contact list.
Right.
So they pretty much gave me the blueprint to be able to lead generation and be able to farm something that I didn't do before, I didn't know about. And I utilized it. Within 3 months, I closed 3 deals.
Yes. Yes. Oh
And
my.
I said, here it is, 184 for my membership.
Oh,
Let's continue.
yes.
The year after that, I was the membership director. And I said, there needs to be more women that were in my position at the time that are probably seeking that same
Yeah.
thing that I was, and I want to bring them in. So
Yeah.
I was like, membership. That would be perfect for me at the time. And I did. I talked about it. I raved about it. It's like, this is what it did for me. This is how it changed my life. But the thing is, you have to utilize the resources and the
Mm,
tools available to you.
yes.
If you don't, then the growth part is on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh,
even HAR, like our Houston Association of Realtors, I mean, we pay dues every year as agents. What
yeah.
are you paying? Have you ever thought about, researching what are you paying for?
Yeah.
There's a lot of tools that the Houston Association of Realtors, the Texas Association of Realtors, and the National Association of Realtors provide to us,
Yeah.
and we don't even know.
Hmm.
There's a lot of benefits. And so I just started researching, and that's what the Women's Council was like, you need to be able to research what's going on in your other associations that you already pay for. And
Yeah.
I started noticing that there was websites and there's a whole bunch of things, discounts that we get as real estate agents as part of our dues that we already pay for. Why
Yeah.
not utilize them?
Ooh.
So that's something that was like mind blowing to me. Like, wow, I need to start more learning my industry, learning what I need to be doing, and the fact that there was a difference between a real estate agent and
Yeah.
a Texas realtor.
Mm.
and that's something that I'm paying for already.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, I'm not gonna call myself a real estate agent. I'm a Texas realtor.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Margaret, this is so massive. Family, as we're listening to this, for those that are just joining us, we have Margaret with us. We are really talking about that stepping into your calling. And Margaret has already shared so many beautiful things that I strongly believe are going to be very helpful to you. And I just want to recap here, just for a brief moment, that, she started out and talked about how there was that initial roadblock, not necessarily, right, because it's your daughter, right, but here we have this baby, this beautiful baby that's come, and it still allowed you to make it, right, to be able to go into the room and take care of what you needed to because of the support that you had. And so I'm so glad that you shared that. And then also we're talking about the resources. Family, there are a ton of resources around us. There's resources inside this group, and as Margaret just shared, there's other resources that are available. And that's how you're going to hold yourself accountable when you actually go out and do the research to find out what's available to you. And that's really going to help you with your growth. And with that being said, I just want to make sure to just transcend us into just a phase of what I wanted to talk about, Margaret. When it comes to just that journey, if I'm correct, you started out where the amount that was needed to be a part of this organization, the Women's Council there, was a cost that wasn't feasible at the time. But then you pushed forward and you went to the free events or whatever was available to you that was complimentary. And then from there, you became the director. I want you guys to follow this very closely because Margaret is now the president. Okay. So this is super, super serious. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let you continue with just how each step continued once you became a director and just go further into that so they can really see how this all stepping into your calling came to be.
Yeah, so I stepped into membership director and I immediately, wanted to like, this is amazing. This organization is something that really helped me out at the time, and it could help somebody else too. And so I said, let me just go ahead and just get all these women real estate agents, round them up, and let's let them know that this exists, you know. And from then on, they're like, okay, well, what's the next step? And I remember one of the president at the time was like, Margaret, I really see you as the president one day. I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm just barely out. No, this is year 2 of real estate. Oh, Lord, no. No, no, no. That seems like, in my mind, you gotta be a top producer. You have to be this, you have to be that." The mentality that I have about a president was completely different. And he's like, "No, you really can do it. I really think you can." And so the entire year, well, half a year, he was like, "You need to do it. I can see you. I can see you doing it. I mean, you just don't understand what I see in you."
Wow.
And I was like, "Well, and we can be hard on ourselves.
Yeah,
Because
you're right,
as
Margaret.
women, we doubt ourselves. We tend to let everything go for our families, because we're caretakers,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh no, I can't do that. I can't do. You talk yourself down from that. The
Yeah.
thing is that you have to value yourself, value who you are and what you're capable of, because everybody is capable. We all have that in us,
Yeah.
that women should be in leadership because we bring a different side. We're
Yeah.
more organized. We're more vocal about things. We want to get things done. And so as the time progressed, I said, you know what? Yes, yeah, sign me up. I'll do it. I'll do it. And he's like, okay, well, next year you're going to be the president elect.
Yes.
Like
I
it's
know, right?
Yes, like, "Oh my god, okay."
Mm.
Okay, but I had to be elected. That's not something that's just given to you. You have to be elected into it.
Yeah.
And, I submitted my name, I did my application, and, I was like, "It's in God's hands now." If it's meant
Yeah.
for me to do it, it's meant for me to do it, but I sure wish I can.
Yes.
Because that would be life-changing. And because I wanted the platform, to be able to help another woman advance in real estate, because it's hard to be in this industry, and the right people continue into leadership. the
Yeah.
people who are strong-minded, the people who can take the criticism, because a lot happens, when once you hit into the president position.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of complaints, a lot of things, and you have to be able to be strong-minded and to be reasonable, to be able to take care of these complaints.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. And all, I mean, I was elected into president-elect. They said yes to Margaret. I was like, it's meant to be,
Amen.
God. It's meant to be. I'm here. And I said, okay, I'm going to position myself in appropriately. I'm going to start networking.
Yeah.
Because the only way that I'm going to get my name out there and to people understand that I'm serious about this position is for them to know me.
Yeah.
So for the entire year that I was president-elect, I networked. And for a good while, I didn't know where to network. Like, where do
Yeah.
you go? So I said, I'm going to network within this organization. So I started to meet other or visit other networks in the Houston area. And the women that are in this organization completely changed my
Wow.
perspective of women empowering women,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
because our mentality is women are catty, women are this, women are that, and
yes.
you kind of get
Yeah.
a little pushback. But
Yeah.
it changed my perspective.
Wow. And you know what? So I'm just thinking about this, Margaret, and just even my own walking journey. And I'm thinking, like, you had this heart to give, this heart to serve, and really want to help other women. And by you connecting with so many others, it helped catapult, right? And push you forward. And they saw the drive in you too, which is so important. And I want to just take a pause for a moment, family, and just talk about what God has really been speaking to me. And I posted it in the group about the rooms that you're in, to think about where God has called you and are you actually going there? Because He's saying, I need you in the room, right? Where He has called you, there are people there that you are destined to meet. There are those there, yes, that are going to support you. And if you're not in the room, if you're not where He told you to go, you could potentially miss that opportunity,
Yes.
right? It may come at a later time, but you have to be the one pushing yourself and saying, okay, I believe that this is what I need to do next. This is where He's called me. Because Margaret, you talked about this, and the networking that you did with everyone helped you get to that next step, right? Once you became the elect, which is super huge. Can you tell us what happened next from there?
So I gained a big audience just for being myself. And that's something that was hard at first because I thought I had to be a different person. I thought I had to speak
Yeah,
a certain way. I thought I had to have a certain education. I thought I had to have a master's degree. I thought I to be accepted. And
yeah,
don't. You don't. You just be yourself. Be out there. The right people is going to be in your circle. And that's it. And I did. I went out and I was just being me. Like, hey, the baby's at home. I'm out. And that's another thing that I have to say, I have a ton of support at home. My husband, without his support, honestly, I don't know where this would have been, where I would have been, honestly, because you have to have that, that your husband has to be in tune with you.
yeah,
And if they're not in tune with you, then that can change the whole perspective of your career.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I had a very strong conversation with my husband and well, a heart, not strong, heart felt conversation with my husband. And I said, look, I really want to do this, and I think that I think that I have the personality to do it. Because again, we tend to be so hard on ourselves. And I was trying to, finally just acknowledge that I feel like this would be the right move for me.
Yeah.
And, he's like, "Yes, I support you 100%. Do what you have to do." And, so that right there just gave me the
Mhm.
fuel to be able to get out there and be like, "All right, husband's happy at home. I'm on to career."
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love
Yes.
it. Oh man. Margaret, that's so huge. Family, for those of you that are just thinking of right now who your support system is, I want you to know that yes, you have your family, you have those your loved ones, but if there's anyone out here listening today, any of you ladies that are like, I really don't, or I really can't 100% say that I have that, then I want you to take this time to get to know someone in the group. Okay. Um, Even reach out, right? Margaret is here with us today. She's got the biggest heart. I don't even know how can I describe it, but there's just something about her that when you get in her space, it's like the eloquence just outpours upon you too. And those are the kind of people that you want to be tied to and attached to that can help support you. Oh, we're back. The internet went out for a second. We've been having that. I'm not sure if it's in my StreamYard or if it's my new internet. We just switched to another provider. But I'm just saying that I really want to be sure that you guys take that time to really connect with those that care about you and share what it is that you're doing, like Margaret said, like with her husband, just being there to support her. And I really want to make sure that you guys know that you don't have to do this alone. With that being said, I want to just touch a little bit more on just being your true and authentic self and just being yourself, because you can totally be yourself and change the world. Margaret, what would you say to someone who is kind of having that challenge where they're they're really being their true authentic self? They want to be, but what advice could you give them?
So I think that the reason why some people may not be genuine is because they're afraid to be judged
Mm,
or not accepted.
yeah,
And that's something that I did struggle with at first. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be accepted. They're not going to, I don't have a master's degree like everybody else does, or I'm not well educated like everybody else is, and I don't have the income background that everybody requires. I didn't have none of that stuff, and I'm thinking,
mm,
well, you know, oh well,
yeah, yeah,
this is who I am. This is who you get, and no matter what income I get to, this is who you're gonna get still because
yeah,
that's who I am. It's my character, and that's how you. My advice would be just be you throughout.
yeah,
And, the right people are going to gravitate to you, and just continue to be you. Be genuine. I mean, the way I'm talking to you now is the way we talk on the phone, is the way
yes.
I talk to my board, is the way I talk
Oh,
to everybody. It's like,
Margaret.
where you see me, this is who you're gonna see. And that's just and it becomes your I guess a staple, or they already know what to expect when they see me.
Yes, yes.
So
Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad and so thankful for you, Margaret, because it is a real thing to feel like, others may be in a different space than you and you may not fit very well into that space. But it's important to know that who you are and who you're meant to become is a purposeful thing. It is on purpose, right? Like it's a reason why you are designed the way that you are. It is because those that you need to serve and those that you need to connect with, right? They need that you, right? And so, because I'm telling you, I'm so thankful for Margaret. I know I needed it. And I'm so thankful God had planted her in my life. So I'm so glad you shared this. And I just want to also just take a quick pause and circle back to a beginning of what you shared because it reminded me of when I had first like I'm a teen mom, and I don't know if many of you know this, but I got pregnant with my daughter at 17. I had her when I was 18, and when I first stepped out and said, "Okay, what am I supposed to be doing?" I had to have her with me, and so you just reminded me of like that push. And for everyone listening, there's going to be those moments where it's like, well, how am I going to do this? But I want you to really dig deep because when you're meant to do it, it is meant to happen. And you just find a way, pray over it, connect with others because it's going to happen. don't even sweat it. Like literally, I just want to stress that because I'm thinking back to that, like being literally, I had been on the bus and I would catch the bus and pass her off to my ex-husband, and he would get her as I would go to class because I had started a college program. And I just remember going through that, and I could have just said, no, well, I have this baby, I can't do it. And the same for you. So I'm super, super excited about that as well. I just also wanted, before we get into, I want to respect everyone's time and yours, but can you just tell us a little bit, Margaret, of like what it's been like now that you've stepped into your calling? Because now you're the president. You went through this whole journey, this beautiful journey. And what is it like now that you're there?
It's challenging. It's challenging because this is the first time that I actually have to manage a board of 10 women. And
Yeah,
to be able to, all right, to delegate is hard when you're a leader.
yeah,
It's hard because you feel like I got to do this because you feel like sometimes you, and this is being honest, sometimes you feel like you have to do it because it's going to get done right. And to be honest
yeah,
with you, no, that should not be your mentality. Your mentality should be, I need to trust the people who were elected into this board, and this is their perspective jobs, and this is what we have to do, and this is the deadline.
yes. Ooh,
That's it. And it gets done. All you have to do is just make sure that things get done when it needs to get done, and that's it. And I tell my board this all the time is, this is not about me. This is not about me. I'm president, great. I love that because it gives me a platform to change. And I say change the world, but change my
yeah,
community, to be honest with you. It gives me a platform to be able to bring in more women into and expose them to building wealth,
yeah,
educational training, things that I'm passionate about, that I feel like maybe another woman can benefit because it gives her another additional avenue of income.
yeah,
So through real estate. And so real estate can be very life-changing for women, but you have to utilize the resources that are given to you. If you don't, then that's pretty much your growth is on you, your
yeah,
work. But I mean, being president is something that I love to do, to be honest with you. I
yeah.
did not know how much I was gonna like it.
Awesome, awesome. This is so huge. Family, I'm so glad we had this opportunity to spend with Margaret. She has really, really shared it all with you. And I really hope that you guys have taken it in, that it has blessed you, and that you'll think about, okay, from listening to this session, what is the number one thing that I'm going to take from it? What resources do I need to make sure that I'm taking a deeper look at, right? Or who is it that I need to connect with? Maybe it's someone that you need as an accountability partner, or maybe it is someone that you need just as that added support for you. And so it's really just important to me to make sure that you guys leave from here blessed and different than the way you came. So with that being said, Margaret, is there any other like major tip that you would give to those who are aspiring to be in such a role, like the one that you're in?
Definitely take a board position. If you want to be in the association for real estate, then take a board position, be on their project teams or on their committees, and figure out if this is the way for you, because it has to be something that you genuinely feel. If you don't feel like it, then then you'll know once you're a project member, you'll know whether this is for you or not. And I think that leadership sometimes, again, we're hard on ourselves. We feel like we cannot do that, or that's not for me.
Yeah,
But give yourself some grace and allow yourself to step into something of the unknown, and just take a leap of faith, and you will never know how what kind of woman you can become
yeah.
with the right tools.
Mm,
And that's something that this has given me. This has given me the right to grow the right way
yeah.
in this industry. And I'm meeting so many people. I'm networking with so many that are contributing to my growth, because you cannot do this alone. This
Yeah.
is not an industry that I'm self-made. I can tell you I'm not self-made. There was a lot of people that helped me in this journey to be to where I'm at right now. And to them, I am grateful and thankful for, because I wouldn't be here without them. And the true um, spirit that I actually have to say is God,
Yeah.
because He has placed the right people in front of me to be able to be where I'm at also.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm grateful as well. But this specific, yeah, like I said, this is a very tough industry, and if you don't have the right backing and support,
Yeah.
then you need to find it.
I love it. Thank you, Margaret. Oh, family, make sure you take the time to put this on replay. Leave it in the comments. Let us know what action you've taken, right? What did you do next after you heard from Margaret today? I want you guys to really see the growth in your business that you desire, the places that you desire to go. And I want you to step into your calling, right? You can do this. You can do this. The support is here, it's available. So, thank you. Thank you so much, Margaret. Did you want to leave a way for them to get in communication with you, or how can they find you?
Yes, you can find me on social media at Locate My Texas Home, and I will pop up.
Yay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, family. Thank you so much, Margaret, for spending this time with us. It means the world to me. And gosh, I can't thank you enough. I don't even know how to put it in words, but I just want you to know that everything you do, every single time you step out and you give and you serve harder, bigger, and even higher, that is influencing each and every one of us that God has also placed to serve others. So I just want you to know that, and God bless you. And definitely, we'll see you on the next one. So, love you guys. Love you, Margaret. I will see you guys. You guys have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.